It's Allison with Bloom Culture Flowers. In today's tutorial we're going to be talking about another large ceremony piece. I have a little bit of a different setup today just because this is a tall vase. This is about 24 inches tall and the opening is about a 6-inch diameter. So we've got a tall, slender vase to work with. And I typically use a higher level table when I'm working with shorter or smaller arrangements, but sometimes you have to change things up. I have a bucket underneath this vase and it makes it the perfect height for me to be able to work with. So today we're going to be working on a tall ceremony piece. This could actually be interchanged between a ceremony piece or if you wanted a tall reception piece to put on your guest table. So this could, it's like, a dual tutorial, so you can use it for both. To prep this vase, you can go one of two ways. If you want to use wet floral foam, which we're going to be doing today, I'll show you how to do that. Another way to prep this vase is we have a smaller plastic vase that actually fits right down in here. That way you can fill just this vase up with water instead of the entire vase, which would just make it awful for transport. It'd be so heavy, it would fall over in transport. If you wanted to insert this plastic vase down in there, they're super cheap. Like I said, less water, and you can take them out and they decreases their height so it won't tip over in transport. It's just way easier to transport. But like I said, today I'm going to be doing the foam again so you don't have to fill this entire vase with water. Okay, so let's prep the vase. I have already pre-soaked one block of wet floral foam. Sometimes I pack the vase so we don't have to build it up with floral foam. I pack it with paper or newspaper, really packed in there, but as you can see, just some paper that I shove down in there so that we don't have to use an obscene amount of floral foam. Sometimes you can use the whole block, sometimes you'll need to shave it off a little bit on the edges to get it fit in there, but I just nestle it, or you can even manhandle it and push it straight down in there. Try not to squish your floral foam too much while doing that. Okay, now that we have the foam in its right place, I typically like to leave it to where it's a 1/4 inch to a 1/2 inch above the rim of the vase. And then I give it a really quick, light tape, just a really light X across the top with floral tape, just to give it some added stability. All right, there's that quick tape, there's the foam, and we are ready for our greenery. So today we're going to be using a similar recipe than what we've used in a couple of the other large-scale tutorials. I love using this Robellini. Again, it has some really great reach. It's just a great scale to use in a large-scale piece. It's going to give you some of the height that you want. And then we can start to add in the depth with the flowers. So I insert at an angle just to make sure that we leave room for other stems, because if you insert it straight in, everything's going to be sticking straight up, and if you stuck it in horizontal, then there's just no way that everything's going to fit. So I typically like to address both sides. I usually have a front side and a back side to the arrangements. If some of the leaves are looking a little bent or a little off, you can go ahead and just rip those off and take those down. And that can also make for a nicer scale or a nicer size so that it's not as big as the first two that we've placed. All right, so I think that we have about 4 pieces of Robellini in, kind of giving a big scale reach to the arrangement already. It's only 4 pieces. So the next step that I'm going to do is starting to fill in with our Salal, or our lemon leaf. Now with this, a lot of times people ask, how do you know where to place the greenery? There is a little bit of a method to my madness, but nothing that I can really, make a formula out of. I just start to fill in, and I start to look at the vase as a whole and make sure that it starts to feel full, that there doesn't feel like there's any open spots. Trying to cover the rim of the vase is also something that I like to do, especially if it's a taller arrangement and people are able to maybe look slightly up at it. If it's on a guest table, I like to make sure that they can't see any foam around the rim and that's covered up. And greenery is a really great way to do that because you don't want to use an excess of floral to cover that rim. But if you're using this as a stage arrangement or something for your ceremony, it's going to be a little bit further away, so that wouldn't be too much of an issue. But if you're going to reuse it at your ceremony, at your reception, it's just something to think about while you're placing your greenery. But I just like to look at the vase as a whole and just make sure that it's starting to look full and grand. Again, remember to turn your arrangement. This one is meant for a large ceremony piece, so it's probably going to be a little bit more front heavy, but if you want it to be for a guest table at your reception, just make sure that you turn it and address all of the sides of it so that it doesn't feel too heavy with one thing on one side. With some of your greenery, don't be afraid to leave some of the stems a little bit longer. That way you can create some of that grand reach that we're trying to get. And then some of your stems to be a little bit shorter to fill in some of the center area. But when you leave your stems a little bit longer, it really creates more of an organic feel and less of a tight and structured arrangement. If you're going for something tight and structured, that's totally fine. You can cut stems maybe all the same length or shorter lengths. But if you want to create something that's a little bit more natural and organic, I suggest leaving some of your stem lengths long and playing with the varying heights on those. Okay, I feel like we've gotten to a really great point with the Salal. I'm going to move on to the baby blue eucalyptus. This has a different color and a different structure altogether, and I think it's going to add some really great texture and variety to the greenery that we have. These are pre-cut, so sometimes I'm not going to snip the stems, but I really love using this greenery. It smells amazing. It adds really, really great reach and depth to an arrangement. And again, don't be afraid to layer things in from underneath. Apparently that was my hand motion for that. But you can start to layer in more greenery near the rim as well, just to create a little bit of reach down here. I love eucalyptus just because it is such a workhorse greenery. Again, don't be afraid to turn your arrangement. I don't know why I keep saying don't be afraid. It's not like the flowers are going to like jump out and bite you or something like that. I mean, I think a lot of people are pretty hesitant when they start arranging for one of the first times. So essentially when I say don't be afraid, I'm kind of just saying like go for it. If you follow our tutorials and you follow our recipes, it's really hard to mess it up. And flowers and greenery are really inherently beautiful on their own. So I say go for it and have as much fun as you possibly can with this. Try not to be too intimidated. With flowers, you can always, change the placement. And once you do a couple of pieces, you're going to start to feel more comfortable with the flowers and the greenery, and you'll really start to pick up speed there too. Okay, I think we've reached a really great point where the arrangement feels full just with greenery. So this is the time that I like to move on to adding our flowers. In larger arrangements, I typically like to stick to larger, more workhorse flowers. So sometimes I use hydrangea just for the scale to help you fill the surface area. I like to use stalk or snapdragon, sometimes a delphinium or what's the other one I'm thinking of? Larkspur, to create some height and reach. So it's not just all round flowers, which there's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes these can help mix it up. So what I like to do is when I'm working with these larger arrangements is I like to add in some of the blooms like the stalk first, just so that it can complement some of the movement here, and I can get some of that reach and height with these guys too. on some of these too, don't forget to bring some down a little bit closer to the rim so that you can have a variety of heights. So I start placing in the roses. I will have all of the supplies that we've used, and like the size of the vase too, I'll list in the description as well, and all of the recipes, all of the varieties and the recipe that we've used to create this as well. So don't forget to turn your arrangement and make sure that you're addressing all sides. If you are just using this for your ceremony, you can certainly make it a little bit more front heavy, but I want this to be something that you can use for your ceremony and that it easily translates straight to your reception. All right, we have all of our roses placed and it's really starting to come together and look like that large scale, beautiful arrangement that you're wanting, like I said, either for your ceremony or for your reception. But I am going to move on to our carnations. These are the terracotta carnations that I mentioned in a previous tutorial that are just absolutely gorgeous. So I start just intermingling these guys, again, playing with height. You don't want everything to be all on the same level, like that one kind of is on the same level of these roses. So again, don't be afraid to, if you place it and you think, oh, that needs to be a little bit shorter, take it out and then place it again. There's nothing wrong with that. I can't say it enough, continually turning your arrangement. Lazy Susans really aren't that expensive. I know sometimes people are like, I don't want to buy just a Lazy Susan. I'm doing my wedding flowers once, but you'd be surprised at the other applications you can find for this bad boy. I'm going to continue placing our scabiosa, and I just want them to be, for lack of a better term, scattered throughout, just so that, you can see this really beautiful plum color popping through. It's such a beautiful deep color, and I love how it's contrasted against some of the lighter, the ivory and the peach and the lavender. Okay, now that we have all of our scabiosa placed, I mean, this arrangement, I feel like it couldn't get any more beautiful. This is when I come in with a filler flower. My go-to is wax, but there are lots of other filler flowers out there. If you're not too keen on wax flower, we will help you select a different variety that you like a little bit more. With wax, we sometimes get to pull off all these little offshoots. Save these, but I start layering in and filling in some of these gaps or some of these holes with wax flower, and it really does just fill in the arrangement, and it makes it look even more full and even more finished and polished at the end. Okay, now that we've got all of our wax flower placed, I think everything looks really gorgeous. It looks really full. My last pro tip that I'll tell you on this, that since you've been arranging it from the top looking down, what I typically like to do next is put it up on a table and kind of look at it to where if you were a guest at your reception, that you could be looking up and seeing it. It looks a lot different. So with some of your leftover greenery, if you didn't use it all, I would go in and start to fill in some of those holes, maybe angle it down a little bit to fill in, and again rotating it, just trying to cover some of that rim. Use some of your offshoots from your wax flower to fill in here too. It's a really great use for all of these guys. And I know that I said don't stick something in horizontal, but now that we have all of our flowers in, all of our greenery in, at this point you might have to stick a few of those pieces in horizontally, just so they can cover up the rim of the vase. And so I like to move it around. There's like just a hint of the tape right there. I put some greenery there, and now you can't see it anymore. But you even might be able to see it from that vantage point, just how different it looks when it's up and it's grand. Just to go through the rim and make sure that it doesn't look a hot mess underneath. But that's why we give you, you know, for the larger pieces, we give you a little bit more greenery to work with, and then hopefully, you know, if your budget allows, you may be able to do some more filler. But greenery does wonders when covering up the rim or the edge. Taking care not to get smacked in the face by your other greenery. Okay, well this is the final and finished product. Everything looks so beautiful, full and gorgeous. The perfect statement piece for your ceremony that you can transfer easily over to your reception. Like I said earlier, we're going to have all of the flower varieties, all of the supplies that we've used in the floral recipe in the description below. If you have any questions, just comment below, or you can email us. Our email is hello@bloomcultureflowers.com. And I am Allison with Bloom Culture Flowers, and we'll see you next time.